This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we'll start it.
Although, yeah, I know I'm not going to ask you to repeat what you just said, but let's just hit that highlight of where people can find the information on where you are in the process right now. If you'll repeat that and how to get the updates, and also make requests if they want to be a part of the process. If you'll just answer those couple of questions, and then anyone from the call can also jump in.
Okay. So the website is www.planningupdates.com, and that's the city's information hub for everything related to this comprehensive plan and downtown plan process. You can review past meetings, you can review agendas for future meetings, you can review copies of our current plans. Everything that's related to this process can be found there. And then we'll have ways to find information about future community events and things of that sort as well. On that webpage, you can actually sign up for an email list to receive automatic notifications. So we'll just push information out to you automatically without having to go back to the website. So that's something that you can do on that page as well.
There's also updates on the City of Nacogdoches Facebook page. We update every time we have a new meeting. It's posted there as well. So some people, if they're doing more of the social media, we can reach them that way. And so they can go to our nacogdochesplans.com website, or they can go City of Nacogdoches on Facebook and find it there. And these meetings are all recorded. The agendas are posted ahead of time. They're open to the public. So if you want to kind of come see behind the scenes and how these committees are meeting and what they're talking about, because we want these plans to be representative of our community. So we want our community involved, whether they're on the steering committee, whether they're just watching, whether they're signing up to get email updates. We want people to be involved in whatever way they feel comfortable being involved in. So they can go to the website, they can go to our Facebook page, and then they can come to the meetings and come talk to us. And Alaina and I love this town and are excited about the future of it. So we are always happy to talk one-on-one about people's questions, concerns, ideas. So please reach out and don't be shy.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, we are working on developing and refining that community engagement plan. So looking at identifying specific groups that we can reach out to directly, looking at community events that are already going on where we can meet people where they are. So if anyone has a connection or a community event that you think would be beneficial for us to attend and share information, provide information about the process, that just reach out and let us know. We'd be more than happy to attend because we want to be as directly involved with people and make it as easy. So instead of asking people to just come to us and come to a meeting, we really want to meet people where they are and take advantage of events that are already taking place. So please feel free to reach out and let us know, and we'll see if we can include that into the plan.
And one big one we're already scheduled to be at is, of course, our Texas Blueberry Festival in June. So we're excited the chamber gave us that opportunity. So the city will have a booth set up at that, be talking about our plan, doing outreach. So that one's already on the calendar. And we'll have a few others this summer and early fall. So we're excited to be a part of that.
We're glad to have you there. And thank you for sharing the information with us. Any other questions for Alaina and Jessica? I think our business community, specifically business owners, folks that are investing in Nacogdoches with their businesses would do well to get updated and make sure they know where you are in these stages as you move forward as well.
Yeah, and as we get more into the plan and we're looking at specific policy recommendations for economic development and land use and things like that, we will be reaching out directly to developers and business owners to get that feedback as far as, what are their goals and objectives? What are things that they're struggling with? What do they want to see? Like what do they need? So there will be intentional outreach for topic specific things, and then there will be general community-wide outreach. And so we will be sharing information as it comes as quickly as possible, but we do want to let people know that there's going to be a lot of effort on the city side to go out and reach people where they are. And so, of course, and our doors always open as well if anyone has any questions.
Great. Well, thank you again. To try to make up for my recording flub there, I'm going to put that link in all of our social links to this recording as well as to the site for more information. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll move on. I see our city manager, Mario Canizares, is on the call, and he probably can give us some other city information.
I can. Good morning, Kelly. Hope everybody's doing well. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. Appreciate having Jessica and Alaina on the call to kind of explain where things are up to date on our two big studies that we've been working on. Just kind of reemphasize some of the things that they've said, that this has always been a citizen-driven plan, and so we are looking forward to the input from the community, not only just from the business community, but also from our residents that live here, and students too. So we'll be getting some feedback from our SFA students as they arrive back next fall. So we're excited about that process and looking forward to the results of that. Just a couple of quick updates on city happenings. I know Sherry Morgan's on the call, but she can talk a little bit more about some of the events we had this weekend. We are in the special event season, so we are seeing a lot of folks coming into our community to enjoy the various festivities that we have in our downtown. We had this event this past weekend, and we look forward to more events coming into the near future. So that's exciting. So it's good to have people in and out of our town on the weekends and really just enjoying our community. We are preparing as staff for our next city council meeting, which is May 3rd, next Tuesday. We do have a tentative 4:30 start. We do have a couple items that we want to bring to the council's attention. One is about planning and zoning, looking at potentially some policy changes that we're looking at doing there on the zoning side. We'd like to get some input from council. And then also looking at doing some updates to some of the alcohol regulations there in our parks and city facilities to make sure that we're in compliance with state rules and regulations. So that'll be one of the reasons why we're starting early, and then we go into our regular meeting at 5:30, which should be fairly routine. We're also, again, because while we're into still the spring season, soon we'll be into the summer, and summer usually means budget, which no one likes to do, but it's part of our function as a city government. So we'll be going into our budget discussions with city council starting in June with budget workshops where departments will come in and basically lay out their stories as far as what they've accomplished, what they're working on, and what they'd like to work on into the future. So we'll be having that towards mid to late June into July. And then the only other thing that's kind of, while we don't have any say in this, but it's middle of the election season, so early voting started yesterday. And so, and then it'll conclude with election day voting, I believe, on May the 7th. So that's all I really have to report. We've been busy just doing a number of different projects around the city as far as the number of developments that we're working on. We've obviously have had some recent spring storms that we've had to deploy folks out into the community to help with clearing of roads and making sure sidewalks are clear and debris is not impeding any walkways or driveways for our commuting traffic. So we've been busy with that, and overall we've come out fairly unscathed here in the community and here in the city proper. And I know there's been more incidents in the county, but look forward to working with Judge Sowell and his team as we need to provide any assistance where we can. And with that, that concludes my report, and I'm glad to hear about Wayne's recovery. So wish him all the best as he continues to recover. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for our city manager? And I know Wayne and Bonnie both appreciate all the well wishes and prayers and thoughts and concerns. Okay, well, we'll move along with SFA. I'm glad to see Misty Wilburn is on our call today. She's with the Marketing and Communications Office there at the university. Good morning, Misty. Do you have updates for us?
Good morning. So we are almost done with the semester. Crazy. I cannot believe that it's almost here. Graduation is next weekend, and we'll be graduating another group of students. So as I'm sure that you all have seen, there have been a bit of changes here on campus, but everybody is super excited about having Dr. Westbrook back on campus, and things are looking great. Our construction projects are moving along great, and we are having our first annual registration rally tomorrow. So we're excited to see how that goes and if we can get some more students registered. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Well, we appreciate you being on the call, Misty. It's always good to hear what's going on with the university. And yeah, things just move along way too fast.
They really do. I just can't really believe that here we are at another semester and another graduation.
Well, I'm sure things will be rolling along through the summer, and thank you for the project report as well.
You bet. Well, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can find my email address or phone number on the website with the marketing department. And thank you so much for letting us join today.
Next, we have from the Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation, the president and CEO, Larissa Philpott Brown. Good morning, Larissa.
Good morning, Kelly. Just wanted to kind of reiterate what Jessica and Alaina spoke about the comp plan. I know that it is an expensive and a time-consuming process, but I can tell you when I am speaking to local developers, they all react, or not local developers, yes, but developers who are coming here to build in our community, they're excited by that momentum. They're excited by that activity. It shows them that the city cares about having a direction and a vision, and that the city cares about growing, and that we're going to help support their business because we're going to have more economic activity. So just know that that's not just a plan that the city council uses and the Planning and Zoning Commission uses. It's really a great marketing piece for our entire community. The only thing I wanted to mention other than that is SFA has their Big Dip ceremony coming up on April 29th. That's this Friday. They have a bunch of dippers and a bunch of family members come in for that. And so Nedco, along with a couple of others, help sponsor the Big Dip Beer and Bites after party after that event from 4 to 9 p.m. on April 29th at the Fredonia Brewery. We encourage the dippers to come bring their family members and just get to relax in our community. And I would encourage you and your businesses to come say hello to the dippers. You can see the pride on the parents' faces when you congratulate their kids on reaching that accomplishment, that they're able to go buy their ring. So it's just a great networking opportunity for the community, and we'd be super excited to see you there. That's all I've got, Kelly.
Well, thank you, Larissa. That's going to be a nice way to spend a Friday, I think. Okay, moving on. We have invited to the call today Mark Durand, Executive Director of Workforce Solutions, Deep East Texas. I see Workforce Solution is on the call. I hope that's Mark or someone that's going to give us a little information about regional economic development, Workforce Solutions. There may be some other little technical difficulties going on with that. Mark, or if there's another representative there that would like to give an update, we're going to move along, but we'll check back with you in just a moment. So other good things are happening this week in Nacogdoches, and I think we're going to hear a little bit about that from our next guest, Gary Lee Ashcraft. I'm jumping ahead. We're going to go ahead and hear from Gary Lee Ashcraft, Nacogdoches Area United Way President and CEO.
So I'm on, right? Okay, it goes this way. Do That Barbecue. I see you, Anita. Expo Center, 10 to 6. Tickets are $10 to get in. Lots of good barbecue, oh my goodness, and a lot of fun. So come on out Saturday, April the 30th. See you there. Eat barbecue. That's my report.
Well, that's a great one to give. I think I've heard a lot of buzz in the community. I think everyone is happy that Doodad is back. I'm going to throw in the fact that Sauce Dat for kids, a kids competition, is also included. So I think there's still time to get involved in that, right? If your children would like to do a cooking contest.
Oh, we didn't have enough registration for the sauce thing, so I'll be preparing sauce for all adults. I'm kidding. I have Tabasco sauce. I have hot sauce, picante, and looks from my wife. Nope. The McWilliams and Son will have a tent, a booth, and they will have lots of things for kids to do. So the kids can come to the family-friendly Doodad barbecue and have a good time. Kenny, you got anything to add? I see you on there. Nope.
No,
Okay.
no, I was just making sure that Kelly, we thank her for promoting that, but we were regretfully unable to, add that. It's a lot for folks to take on, and, and having a new event as part of an event is also extra. But we're excited to have Doodad back in person and to see everybody out there. So.
And we're very thankful to Pilgrims. They have been our major sponsor of this thing, and many of you on this call are sponsors of Doodad. I can't call them all out, except CBTX. I can call them out. I happen to know they're sponsoring. But thank you, and we look forward to seeing you Saturday. You want me to talk some more, Kelly? I got all sorts of things I can talk about.
Hey, Gary.
Yes,
Josh,
sir.
about how many people do you have registered to cook?
We're right a little plus north of 20 cookers, grillers.
There'll be some good barbecue, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And thanks to R&K as well, right?
Yes. I like beer. Your ticket entitles you to 3, no more, no less, free beers, and then you can buy all you want to if you want to do that. Get rowdy. We have the Nacogdoches County Sheriff's Department. They'll be there to kick you out. Lead you out.
Any other questions for United Way?
I'll tell you anything. I know about life.
All right, well, we're gonna back up. Mark, it looks like we can see you and hopefully we can hear you.
Kelly, can you hear me now?
We can. This is Mark Durand with
Good.
Workforce Solutions.
So, Kelly, I'm sorry about the technical issues on there. So, well, good morning. And Wayne and I talked, and he wanted me to give an update on the labor force information and maybe a few other things Workforce has. But we're really looking good in our unemployment rates. Our rates dropped for the month of March. We just received our March 22 data. For the Deep East Texas region, we're at 5%. And that is down from February where we were at 6.2. And then in March of 21, the same time last year, we were at 7.6. But drilling down to Nacogdoches County and the city of Nacogdoches, Nacogdoches County was 3.8. That's the third lowest of our 12 counties. And the city of Nacogdoches is 3.9. And when you look at where we were in March February compared to March, for Nacogdoches County was 4.7, and now we're at 3.8, and then 4.9 for the city and 3.9. So we've seen that decreased, but at the same time, when we see that decrease, that does bring some challenges, because if you are on our workforce development news or have visited our website, we post the labor market data. And to explain that is it has an area called labor force, and your labor force is the number that are employed plus the number that are unemployed. Okay, so that can be a little bit misleading because that's the individuals that are actively working and are registered with us and looking for employment. So for example, the city of Nacogdoches has a labor force of 14,198, and that's compared to 14,178 in February. So that's an increase of 20. Well, when you look at the employment rate, the number that are employed, that number increased almost 200. So when you take those unemployed and put them employed is good, but then that decreases the number of people that are actively looking for work, that unemployed. And we've continuously seen the help wanted signs, we've seen the job postings. So then that narrows the number of applicants that a lot of our employers are going to receive. So we're also looking at that, but it's again, it's a very positive seeing our unemployment rates decrease from there. So if you're not receiving that labor market information, I would ask put your email address in there in the link. We'll make sure that you start receiving that on a monthly basis. Also, when you look at how are we helping employers find employees? One of the biggest things that we're seeing is the middle skills gap. Is how are we you know, a lot of employers have those entry level workers, and how are we going to fill the middle skills gap? So we're working with employers and identifying workers that can maybe advance within their organization. And that's going to be one of our plans for the upcoming year, is how do we help that employer train them? So some of our funding that we're looking at is taking that funding, working with our community college and maybe even our state college, Stephen F. Austin, and how we train those and advance those individuals to the next level there. Also, we're having our big mega job fair, which is a regional job fair, which will be this Thursday, April the 28th. It's going to be here at the Pitzer Garrison Center. We've actually got over 60 employers that have signed up currently. And so we're going to do it. It's going to be a mixture of both in-person and hybrid. So we're going to have computers that are available so that if employers want them to fill out applications or do resumes and submit them, we're going to have computers and printers so that they can print that off and do their resumes and make sure that that employer is getting that right then. Also, we're going to have, we call it a reverse job fair. It's where actually the job seeker and the employer reverse places. So we're working with students that are graduating this semester. And so just take, for instance, the electricians there at Angelina College. Those individuals that have not gotten jobs yet, they will be behind the table with their resumes so that employers can come in and gather those resumes from them and make more efficient time of their time. And they can get that resume, take it back, and make that first contact. So we have that that's set up, but that is on the 28th of April. And so we've closed it off to our employers, but if anyone is interested in attending, we'll make room. But right now we're reaching out to those job seekers and getting that done. Also, one of the things is we really focused on, and Nacogdoches superintendent and Mr. Lusk, the CTE director, and also Aaron, they have been really proactive on how we train the students for the future jobs. And so one of the things is we're doing is the teacher externship. This will be our second year where we are matching CTE teachers with employers. So right now we have 29 teachers. Nacogdoches ISD is represented. And so we're in the process of matching them with employers. So that teacher will go into that employer, learn the specifics of what that employer needs, what kind of applicants, what kind of workers that they're looking for. And then that teacher will take that back into their classroom and hopefully share that with their with their students, so that those students are knowing what type of jobs are available, and then what does it take to get that job. You know, does it take a 4-year degree or just a technical degree? And I know Aaron is on the call, and her and Mr. Lusk were very helpful last year along with the superintendent. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be in June of this year. And then the second thing is Nacogdoches ISD is going to host the second career signing day, where we really recognize those students that are going into employment and also have received CTE certifications from that. And then the last thing is I want to emphasize is that childcare. You know, that's the other service that Workforce does. We are receiving additional funding to put in over 300 more children in the childcare, which will get us almost to 2,300 children per day. And so we're in taking applications. We have open enrollment. So any of you that have workers that are currently working for you or new employees that are coming, refer them to us and see if they're eligible for childcare, and then we can assist them with that. Okay. So Kelly, thank you. Okay. Open to questions or comments. Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions? I noticed Karen Stubblefield in your office was also putting some information in the chat. So there's good links and follow-up info there.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, we thank you too. And we'll hear more from you in the future, I'm sure. All right, well, moving on, Nacogdoches Expo updates with Anita Scott, the director of the Expo and Civic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So we've been really busy out here at the Expo, as always. We just got done with the Spring Brew Fest and the Old Stoneport Bike Ride. And those two events was last Saturday, and they were very successful. We're excited about that. And I know we've already talked about the Do That barbecue that's happening this Saturday. We're excited about that as well. And today, TxDOT will be here at the Expo Center. They are hosting a virtual public meeting with an in-person option upstairs from 5 to 7 p.m. And this meeting is to announce a proposed 7-mile project to widen US 259 from South 204 to the Rusk County line. And so again, they're going to be here today. And that's all we have for now. We're working on more events coming, and I actually have a gentleman out in the lobby waiting on me to talk about another event that we're going to be doing real soon. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here at the Expo Center, and the number out here is 564-0849. Give me a call if y'all are looking for a place to host your next event. We'd be glad to have you. So that's all I have for today.
Thank you, Anita. We appreciate that, and all your team does.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing. On May the 20th, we have the Fallen Peace Officers Memorial scheduled here too. So be sure to put that on your schedule, on your calendar. That's all I have. Thank y'all.
That's great. Okay, I know Sherry Morgan's wondering, why hasn't Kelly introduced me? I guess I just got all mixed up there, Sherry, but thank you for your patience. We have the dynamic, impressive, and talented, bright, beautiful Sherry Morgan, the director of Visit Nacogdoches, on the call today, and I know she has good news for us.
Thank you, Kelly. As Mario alluded to during his report, we are neck deep in event season. Last weekend, we had no fewer than 7 events going on. Probably the brightest star for us out of that was the move of the SFA preparatory department at SFA to come to the streets of historic downtown, to our historic red brick streets, for the first ever SFA Music and Arts Festival, and it was robustly attended, and we've received just about a perfect response on that. It's always, with everything, there are things to learn and room to grow, but we are so excited with the partnership with SFA, as well as bringing this level of culture to the streets of our historic downtown for everybody to enjoy. We've already talked about the events that are coming up this weekend as well. And then just to save the date, on May 21st will be the tour of gardens from the Garden Capital Committee. So we have, probably in my 5 years here, this is probably the second showiest azalea season that we've had, and we were not all that optimistic because we had such a warm December and a lot of the azaleas were forced to bloom at that point, so we didn't know what we were going to come up with. But man, have we just shown up and shown out, and visitors keep coming in by the busloads, by the truckloads, by the carloads to get a look at not only our azaleas, but our Japanese maples and our knockout roses. And in a couple of weeks, we will be right in the middle of crepe myrtle season. So it's important to remember that while we are always the oldest town in Texas, we are also the garden capital of Texas. And this season, we have certainly lived up to that title. We continue to be on the lookout for storyteller volunteers here in the Visitor Center. We are going through a transition of our website providers right now, and it's going great. It's actually moving along quite nicely at a fast clip, and we should be making that transfer at the end of June. It should go live, but it brought up a lack of current photographs in our photo library, and so Ashley Morgan in our office is going to be launching a photo contest next week, I believe, and it'll last about 2 weeks, so that we can populate some photographs of Nacogdoches that we can use on our website, and that economic development can use to recruit companies into town and that Hancock Advertising can use in our ads. We have so many, we are really blessed with very talented photographers. Jason Renna, Wendy Floyd is one of my personal favorites. And those are beautiful photographs. We are specifically looking though for photographs that have people in them. So it does take an additional step to make sure that you have a photo release of the subject, but keep in mind that these photos, we're wanting to entice people to come in, so we want to show people engaging with our community. But be on the lookout for more information about that photo contest. And you know, I spoke briefly about the collaboration with SFA and the Music Preparatory Department. One of my favorite things about Nacogdoches is the collaborative spirit between different entities among town. We really can depend upon our neighbors to help us achieve common goals. And I wanted to highlight a few things. We are so fortunate that we have the visitor center that we do, the Charles Bright Visitor Center, and that we have the volunteers that allow us to keep it open 7 days a week. The Junior Forum of Nacogdoches always grants us a weekend of volunteers annually. This year, they upped the grant to not only include those volunteers that are so useful for us, but also $500 for an automated people counter, because right now we use tally marks. So we are we're pretty fancy. We're going to be pretty fancy here in a little bit. And I'm just going to sit there and watch it count people. So we're excited about that. Very thankful to Junior Forum. And then also for the first year since I've been here, again, partnership with SFA and their hospitality, we are going to have 5 interns this summer. And we're so excited about providing them an opportunity to really deepen their experience in hospitality and tourism. But no lie, full transparency, to get some work out of them. So they're going to be especially helpful in that website transition, in creating some more curated tours on our Visit NAC app and whatnot. So we're very excited. I wanted to mention back when I was talking about events, and I saw a squirrel, lost my train of thought, but full moon concerts are back. They're going to look a little differently this year. So whereas last year we had 3 scattered across summer, Memorial Day weekend, we will have 2 days of 2 concerts. So Memorial Day weekend, we'll have 4 concerts. You won't see another full moon concert until October. We might have a special surprise on 9/11. So be on the lookout, and that's all I'm allowed to say. Otherwise, Joanna will kill me in my sleep, or maybe even while I'm awake. I don't know. But yeah, we're super excited about that. So with all that, as always, I thank you for everything that you do in ways big and small to make Nacogdoches a great place to visit.
Thank you, Sherry. I love a good teaser. Did anyone have another question for Sherry? All right, well, moving on, we have representatives from Nacogdoches ISD. I'm going to call Les Linebarger up and at him. There he is, Communications Director for the ISD. Good morning, Les.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be on here. I want to thank Mark for mentioning our CTE signing day that will take place May 20th. This is patterned after signing days for our student athletes. It's for students who have already secured a job within their CTE or career and technical education field of study at the high school, or have been accepted to a college, university, or technical school to continue their CTE pathways and studies. It's a really cool event, and it involves a lot of our students at the high school. On Saturday, this Saturday, NISD is hosting a job fair at the Malcolm Rector Center at the high school. It's there. You can enter off of Maroney Drive, but details can be found at our website at nacisd.org and on our Facebook account. Now, this job fair is not just for educators. We're looking to fill positions across the district, including for our facilities and plant services crews. Pre-K and kindergarten registration continues for the district. Links to online registration, as well as what's needed to qualify for pre-K, can be found at nacisd.org and on our Facebook account. Now on Thursday, in a couple of days, the second meeting of the Nacogdoches ISD Education Foundation will take place. Erin Wyndham is serving as our executive director of the foundation, and she's on the call this morning. On Thursday, the board's expected to elect officers in the meeting as it continues the process of obtaining the state and all the federal approvals required to be a 501c3 organization. And finally, guys, the school year is almost over for us too. Graduation is Friday, May 27th. That's 4 weeks from this Friday. So all the busyness of this end of a school year has descended upon us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Les. Now I'm going to open this up because if I've missed anyone, or if anyone had a news-shattering announcement to make, I do think we have media on the call. This is your chance. Speak now before I start closing arguments. Let's go with closing comments. Okay, in closing, I'd like to remind everyone that County Judge Greg Sowell will present the state of the county at Thursday's Eggs and Issues. If you haven't registered, please do. Eggs and Issues is the Chamber's monthly membership meeting, and it is open to the public. Along with the Festival Planning Committee and the Chamber Board and staff, I think the whole community is preparing for the biggest Texas Blueberry Festival presented by Tipton Ford this year. The deadline to submit an application to be a vendor at our festival approaches, and there is still time to sign up for volunteer roles and festival sponsorships. The festival itself will be Saturday, June 11th. And please take a look at the online event calendar, the chamber news, and all the other good information you'll discover at www.nacogdoches.org. Wishing you all the best until we meet again. We hope to see Wayne Mitchell soon back on this call. Our next chamber conference call, sponsored by Burke, will be on May 10th. And we will sign off with our chamber chairman's Dr. Todd Brown's theme, "We are stronger together." Y'all have a great week.